Hi guys, you are welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. Today's video I'll be showing you guys on how I recreated this simple and classy bubu. It is very easy to make. It is a top and a short. I use adire fabric to make the style. Adire normally comes between 4 to 4.5 yards of fabric. So if this is what you would love to learn how to make, sit back, relax, and enjoy the tutorial. And if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, click the red button down below to subscribe, and also click the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified. Without further ado, let's move right to the tutorial. Firstly, I measured 29 inches on fold from the adire fabric. I cut for both the front and the back bodies, and I placed them on top of each other and I pinned them down together. On my starting line, I marked neck width 4 inches, neck depth for the back 2 inches, neck depth for the front 8.5 inches. I connect the necklines. I am making this dress for a client. She told me she wants her neck depth to be really low. That is why I measured 8.5 inches for the front neck depth. From the center back to where the sleeve will stop, I measured 28 inches including hemming allowance. At that point, I measured 2 inches for the shoulder slope and I connect to the neck width. She also told me that she wants her sleeve opening to be wide, so I measured 16 inches for the sleeve opening, including 1 inch side seam. The length of the top is 36 inches including hemming allowance. The wideness of the body, I measured 20 inches. She also told me that she wants it to be really free on her, so I measured 20 inches for the wideness. Then I connect to the sleeve opening. Then I curve the armhole. That's about it, guys, for the drafting. As you can see, it is very easy. Before cutting it out, I'm going to add 1/2 inch shoulder seam allowance. Then I'll cut it out. I first of all cut the back neckline, the shoulder slope from the 1/2 inch seam allowance, then I cut the bodies. I lift up the front bodice, then I cut the front neckline. Next is to cut facing for the necklines. After cutting knicker from the remaining fabric, this is what I have left. So what I did, I measured 1.5 inches and I ruled that into a straight line. I'm going to cut a long strip for the rope. I'm going to be joining all these pieces together to give me a long strip. The reason why I'm joining them together is because what I have left is not going to be enough. So I had to join these pieces together to give me a long strip. The length I want should be between 50 to 55 inches. And I'm going to cut that into 4 places. 2 on the left, 2 on the right. The wideness of the rope is 1.5 inches. Then the length is 55 inches. I'm going to take them to the sewing machine and stitch all the pieces together to have a long strip. After that, I'll give it a good press. Then I'm going to fold 1/2 inch on both sides. Then I'll place one on top of each other and stitch it down. I'll repeat the same thing on the other pieces as well. This is my facing. I've ironed stay to the wrong side of the facing and I've also overlocked the edges. So I'm going to use the facing to turn the necklines for both the front and the back bodies. After sewing, I'm going to notch and top stitch. These are the long strips. As you can see, I've sewn them and they are 4 pieces. I have turned the neckline with facing and I've also hemmed the edge of the sleeve opening. Next is to fold the bodice into 2. I will take to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew the sides with 1 inch seam allowance. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. I've sewn it, as you can see. On that curved part, I'm going to notch it to make the sleeve to relax. Anytime you sew cut together, make sure you always notch the curved part that joined the sleeve and the bodice together. It will enable the sleeve to relax around the armpit area. Next, I measure 1.5 inches upward from the hem, from the lower part of the dress, and I notch it. From the 1.5 inches, I will determine the length of my ruched effect. I want the length to be 10 inches, so I measure 10 inches upward and I notch it. We are going to be using the side seam to form casing for the rope. So I'm going to pick 2 ropes. I'm going to place one underneath the side seam, like so. I'll place the other underneath it as well. Remember, the side seam is 1 inch. So I'm going to fold in 1/2 inch at the edge. I'll fold in 1/2 inch on the other edge. Then I will take to my sewing machine. I'll first of all stitch at the top. I'll back stitch to hold the rope down firmly. Then I'll move to the edge. I'm going to stitch it down. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side as well. After that, I will lift up my rope upwards to hem the lower part. I'm going to fold in 1/2 inch twice to hem the lower parts. This is the final outcome of today's tutorial, guys. As you can see, it is very easy to make. For the ruched effect by the sides, all you need to do is to pull the rope like so and tie it. You repeat the same thing on the other side. Pull it up and tie. We've come to an end of today's tutorial, guys. If you find my tutorial helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below if you've not done so. I upload weekly tutorial on my channel. Also remember to click on the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified. Thanks for watching, guys. Until I come your way next, please stay safe and remain blessed. I love you all. Bye.